Right, we're going to carry on here looking at different events in the building labour market, so the labour that's building houses, for example, and looking at what this does to the wage rate. That's our question. And we've said already that you find the wage rate where the demand for labour equals the supply of labour. And we've said that the demand for labour is a derived demand. It comes from the demand for something else. In this case, it comes from the demand for houses. Let's look at number 2. The national minimum wage increases. The national minimum wage is what you have to pay somebody by law per hour, at least. Many people will be paid more than that, but many people will also be paid the national minimum wage. And that, at the moment in the UK, it depends how old you are and other things like that, but it's around £8.50. And if this increases, that means that if you're employing anyone who's on the national minimum wage, you're going to have to pay them more per hour. In the labour market, they may well have some people who are on the national minimum wage, and if this happens and they have to pay them more per hour, they won't want to employ as many people because they're going to have to pay everybody more. It will cost them more money. So this will cause the quantity demanded for building labour to go down. So actually that's the same as the diagram that we drew before. Remember, left is less, so the demand will fall and the wage rate will fall from W to W1. Next one, the population increases. If the population goes up, that will cause the quantity demanded of houses to go up. If the quantity demanded of houses goes up, the quantity demanded for building labour will go up because you'll need more builders to build the houses which are being demanded by the increased population. So therefore, the demand curve needs to shift to the right because demand is increasing. Remember, it's a parallel shift. So your demand curve goes over here to D1, and then you put in your equilibriums and you see that because more labour is demanded, you actually will have an increase in the wage rate from W to W1, and quantity increases from Q to Q1. So we'll call this diagram number 2. So this was diagram number 1, this is diagram number 2. Next one, more colleges offer construction courses. A construction course is where you can learn the skills that you would need in the building trade. And if there are more colleges offering these courses, more people will do the courses. It's likely that they opened up more courses because people wanted to do the course. So more do the courses, and if more do the courses, this increases the quantity supplied of building labour. So more people are supplying their labour in the building market once they've finished their construction course. So therefore, this is going to increase the quantity supplied. So supply needs to increase, it needs to shift to the right. So that would be like this, supply shifting to the right. And you label this S1. And you can see on here that because there's now more supply of labour, there are more people available in the market, then the wage rate actually falls from W to W1, and the quantity increases from Q to Q1, the equilibrium quantity. So we'll call this diagram number 3, and this is number 3. Next one, new working methods increase builders' daily output. This means essentially that their productivity, the output per worker per time period, labour productivity, is going to go up. If builders can produce more, then you could argue that the building companies don't need as many workers to do the same amount of work. So you could say that this might lead to a decrease in the quantity demanded of building labour. You could also say that because they're more productive, they're more attractive to the business. So you could say that this will lead to an increase in the quantity demanded of the building labour. In the exam, whichever way you argued it, that would be fine. So if you were showing a decrease in the quantity demanded, you would do this diagram. If you wanted to show an increase in the quantity demanded, you'd do this diagram. So either could be right. And I'll address the other ones in the next videos.